My name is Pastor Matt. I'm the lead pastor here at Canvas Church, and just want to thank you guys so much for coming out here and allowing your kids to be part of VBS. I know that there have been many meaningful conversations over the past few days. I know as we've been putting our kids to bed, our kids have told us about conversations like these. These are the few I've heard from my kids. One of the conversations was, does God still love us when we're naughty? Which I have never personally thought about before, but you can see where it would weigh on a kid. Man, mom and dad are disappointed in me. Does God still love me? What does it mean that God died on the cross? Why do we pray, and how do we pray? I'm sure many more topics that I don't even know have been had just over the past few days. And so I want to thank you guys for allowing your kids to be part of this. I want to take a moment to speak to those who are not part of our Canvas Church community. If you're not part of our Canvas community and you already have a healthy church that you guys are plugged into and part of, I just want to say I'm so happy to hear it. Thank you for allowing us the honor of serving your kids over this past week. I know in the past years, we have had our kids in a couple of different churches, VBSs, so it's nice to be able to pay back the favor for once, which is great. However, if you're not part of a church, we would love to help you find and follow Jesus personally. And so the easiest way to jump into Canvas Community is just going to be Sunday services. They're here at 10 a.m. If you say, hey, I'm okay with the VBS, but I don't really know how I feel about church or anything like that. On our YouTube page is our past services for the past several years are all on YouTube, and you can grab those there. Before I pass it off to Katie, who has led our VBS, I want to take a moment and just thank a couple people who have helped make all of this possible. So first of all, I had planned on having everyone who had been a volunteer stand up, and go figure, they are all out with our kids right now. So there's not going to be a lot of people, and probably in fact almost none, that would stand up right now. But I will say, if you see someone who looks like an adult in a tie-dye shirt, make a point to say thank you to them. They have taken a week out of their prime summer days, and instead of having what we've had, date nights or a little bit more restful nights where 3 of our 4 kids are here, they have taken on more responsibility and spent more time pouring into all of our kids, and so make sure to say thank you to them. Second, I want to say thank you to Melody Hofer. So Melody's right back here. Give a wave, Melody. And yes, okay, you guys don't know why you're clapping yet, but she has been amazing. Melody took the vision, or got a vision for this wildlife theme, and said, I am going to deck the church out and make it look wildlife. And so Melody came up with this vision, and then, that's impressive, but even more so is she assembled a huge team of people and delegated just all of this stuff and everything out in the lobby, and really decked the church out to make it fit with the theme. And honestly, this is part of the fun, I think, for the kids when they come in and see the jungle theme. And then finally, I want to, and actually, Melody, we have something for you. Why don't you come on up over, oh, you got it. Just kidding, you've got it, cool. And then finally, Katie Hodgden, who is right here. Katie is the leader, the mastermind behind this whole VBS. About a year ago, she came up to me, roughly a year ago, and said, hey, I want to do a VBS at Canvas Church next year. And I thought, boy, that sounds like a lot of work. And she came, and man, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, we sat down, and she had a budget prepared. She had a meeting scheduled for volunteers prepared. We need to announce on this Sunday, and here's the theme, and here's exactly what it's going to look like. And so we had that initial meeting, and then Katie has really just, as a 100% volunteer, just run with pulling this whole thing off. And Katie is an incredibly detail-oriented person, and I know it when I see it in someone, because I am not. And so when I walk in every single day to the church, and the whole lesson plan for the next day or for later that day is already laid out, all of the crafts, even, I don't know if you guys were looking at the pictures, there's a QR code in the lobby for the pictures that were being taken during VBS each day. And I looked back, and I knew they were going to tie-dye shirts, but then they had all of the bins set with the shirts ready, and all of the kids had these coverall garbage bags to make sure they didn't stain their own clothes. And it's always just impressive to me, as someone who knows what it is to plan an event and to pull it off, to see someone who has really thought of everything. And so give it up as a huge thank you to Katie for for making this happen and serving our kids. I know our kids, our church, our families are better off because of how you've served us this week. So thank you, Katie. So with all of that in mind, Katie just got some flowers, but once she has a chance to set them down, I'm going to invite her on up. Yes, no. Awesome. Go ahead and come on up. Thanks so much, Katie.
All right. Thank you. Well, I am super excited that we have reached day 4 because we get to share, and the kids will really share what they did learn. There was a big idea for every day, and before we get into that, I do want to say the motto that we have in our house, and my kids always repeat it back to me, is teamwork makes the dream work, because truthfully, as much as I had a vision and some ideas of what we could do, Melody played a huge hand in it, and every single volunteer played a significant impact. We could not have done this without multiple people volunteering and spending their time and energy. And then second of all, I want to thank all of you parents for investing in your kids to help them find and follow Jesus. And I can tell you have very talented kiddos. On day 1, I was not expecting them to be able to get all the actions and the songs down, and they wore me out. I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't have the second song prepared to teach you. So that night I had to go home and really study because they were already ready for the next actions. So they're really quick learners. They're really bright kiddos. We've had a lot of fun. And so now I'm ready to have them share their stories with you. So if you want to go ahead and get us some music, we're going to check out our kids, and we're going to start with our Lioneers. And our Cheetah Chasers are next. And then we have Generous Giraffes. And our Zooming Zebras. Okay, perfect. Yeah, don't worry. We are recording this for you, kiddos. So we're going to have each group is going to represent one of the big ideas that we had. Raise your hand if you are our speaker for our big idea number 1, day 1. Day 1. Who's day 1? I think it's the Zooming Zebras. Okay. Who's talking? It's both of you. Okay.
It's wild. Jesus is why we share our stories.
Perfect. So we talked about who we can share our story with and why Jesus is part of our story. Who's day 2? Our Lioneers. Okay. I'll scooch on up here.
It's wild. Jesus helps us use our gifts. Rawr!
And they all have a lot of gifts. Who's our day 3 big idea? Emma? Okay, Emma, you ready?
Jesus is why that we love him.
Yeah. Jesus is why we get to spend time with God. That was really good, Emma. I'm proud of you. All right, and our last one. Who's sharing this one? Malachi or Gemma? Gemma.
I'm scared.
You're scared? You want me to say it with you? Okay, ready? Jesus shows us how to spend time with others. And really, that was our easiest lesson to learn because we've been doing about that all week. So I'm going to hop back down so you can see. And we're going to go ahead and have them share the rest of our songs, but I'm just going to grab the posters real quick out of our way. So can I take that from you? Who else has a poster? Sam, you want to grab that one too on the end? Perfect. All right. You can go ahead. Our first song is called Wild About Us.
He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. It's so amazing to think about God's love. The God of creation is looking out for us. He knows us, He hears us. God is right here with us, and He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. God is great, He is awesome. God is great, He is awesome. He's wild, God is wild about us. He is great, He is awesome. He's wild, God is wild about us. He is awesome. He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. He's wild, God is wild about us. It's awesome. He's wild, God is wild about us. God is wild about us.
That was probably one of our harder songs. The next songs, they are a rock star with. So we're going to go ahead and do an oldie but a goodie. It's Arky Arky.
The Lord told Noah there's gonna be a floody, floody. Lord told Noah there's gonna be a floody, floody. Get those children out of the mighty, mighty children of the Lord. The Lord told Noah to build him an arky, arky. Lord told Noah to build him an arky, arky. Built it out of hickory, barky, barky children of the Lord. The animals, they came in by twosies, twosies. Animals, the animals, they came in by twosies, twosies. Elephants and kangaroosies, roosies, children of the Lord. So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Children of the Lord. It rained and poured for 40 daisies, daisies. Rained and poured for 40 daisies, daisies. Almost drove those animals crazies, crazies. Children of the Lord. The sun came out and dried up the landy, landy. Sun came out and dried up the landy, landy. Everything was fine and dandy, dandy. Children of the Lord. So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise
good. I think Jesus really showed us how they can use their gifts this week. They did so great. I just want to thank all of you for coming out and taking a look to see what they actually learned. And I would urge you to continue to have conversations at home about what they learned and reflect on that. Oh, well, you can maybe do that as a bonus song. They really, really love songs. We went through a lot of songs to learn. But that's all we have planned for this evening. A couple just reminders. When you leave tonight, make sure you sign your name next to your child's kiddo so we know you signed them out. And take the little, there's like a piece of string with a piece of paper on it, and it gives you instructions on how to take care of their t-shirt. This was recorded on our YouTube, which is also on our Facebook page. So later, if you want to send it to a family member or just watch it over and over to enjoy all the little moments that kiddos do, you sure can follow us on our Facebook page. Thank you. Yep. Yes, go for it.
My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. In the beginning, God made everything. God simply spoke and the world came to be. He sent a flood and made everything new. He parted the sea and let his people walk through. He helped a boy bring a giant right down. Joshua marched, the walls fell to the ground. These acts of power are worthy of praise. But if you want to question my God and his ways, I'll look you in the eye and say, my God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. Though we are sinners, he still gave us worth. God sent his son to live here on the earth. He healed the sick, he made blind men see. He let the lame walk and he set the world free. He died on a cross and he rose from the grave. He conquered sin, he is mighty to save. He went to heaven and he's coming back. God's word is true, but if it's attacked, I'll look you in the eye and say, my God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. God the Spirit, God the Father, God the Son. 1 + 1 + 1 equals 1. God the Spirit, God the Father, God the Son. 1 + 1 + 1 equals 1. I want the world to know about my God. I wanna live so the whole world can see that my heart has changed. I'm forgiven.